Welcome. It is Sunday, and it is April 12th, Easter Sunday, and we are going to be doing some really lovely movement together this afternoon. And this week, all week in Nowhere Village, we've been focusing on the power of practice. And I know last week was a really hard week for me, and contemplating this really simple theme of how can I return to my practice and what does my practice return me to has been really, really helpful for me all week. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali tells us about practice that it goes along with something called vairagya. Practice is called abhyasa, and he says it goes with vairagya. And vairagya means letting go. And so, by his definition, in a sense, our sacred practices are where we show up. We put ourselves in the place. We got our mat, we got our ball, we got what we need, and we got a little time. We show up, abhyasa, and then vairagya. We let go. And we find that our practice brings us home to what it is that we can trust, what it is that we can let go into. And so this afternoon's practice is going to be an exploration of that. And we're going to begin with actually some massage work. So hopefully everybody at home watching the video also has a massage ball or something like that. Write me if you want some help about doing exercises like this without the ball or getting a ball. But we're just going to go ahead and get started with it now. So I'm going to teach this from back here on my mat. You're going to begin on your mat actually just lying flat on your back. Have your ball right next to you. And first I'd like you to just lie on your back. And take your arms up alongside your ears and reach through your feet and just stretch the whole body and just take a few breaths stretching the body. I'm naturally wanting to kind of move one hip up and then the other, and just be taking these really deep breaths, getting the whole length of your body with your breath if you can. And then I want you to hug your knees into your chest and take a big breath in. And then exhale out of your mouth. Do that again, just like that, except this time when you exhale, let your limbs flop out. So big breath in, get in really tight, and then let it all flop out. Now you're going to take your massage ball, and today we're actually going to be working in the hips and the sacrum. So the first space is actually going to be right here. Yeah, so this right side of the back of your sacrum. So find that bony plate, and you're going to take the ball, and you're going to put it under that spot, and you're going to lay back down. If you're ever really sensitive in an area and the body weight is too much, you can do any of these exercises of pressing the ball against the wall. And I'll show you that now. For everybody for whom it's still working on the back, stay where you are and start to surrender the weight of your body down into the ball. So we're exploring the right side of the back of the sacrum. And you can now move that ball anywhere you want. I like to kind of keep it along the ridge, sort of just above the flesh of my tush. But you can explore anywhere in that area. Breathe deeply, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on the time. We've got 4 sections of the hips that we'll be working with. And we've got about another 5 breaths in this section. Now, for anybody who started this video and is bummed out because you don't have a ball, you can be on a block or a folded blanket underneath your whole sacrum. And just starting off by breathing in and out of the right part of the sacrum, so you're really focusing on that area, okay? A few more breaths wherever you are. And then those of you who have the ball, let out a really big exhale, sink all the way down into the ball. So there's the vairagya, surrender, let go. And then switch sides. So now you're on the left side of the sacrum, back of the sacrum. So I'll show it from here. Explore that left back side of your sacrum and breathe deep breaths. You showed up to practice. You can feel really good about that. Let go of any ideas that you're supposed to be anywhere else. Breathe in and out of this space in your body. Some people like to move the ball around a lot. I tend to like to move it a bit and then find the sweet spots where I really need the sensation, the connection, the opening, and I pause there. Find that vairagya, right? That's just surrender, non-attachment. Don't try to do it anymore and let the gravity and the ball do the work. Deep, full breaths. Okay, now the next spot that we're gonna go to is, if you're already on your back, you're gonna take this ball and you're gonna put it next to your right hip. So you can see my ball's in front of it. And then I'm gonna roll over so that I end up on my right side and the ball is pinned underneath my hip. This one can be really intense. If it's super intense and you need to go to the wall, just pin the ball to the wall using that side of your hip. I'll show it a little closer on the video. So this spot here, and again, you might have to move it around until you find just the right spot and then let yourself surrender down into it. Breathe in and out of that experience. And as we show up for our practices, of course, we are showing up for what matters most. So any of those little voices saying you should be doing something else, thinking something else, or multitasking, just gently quiet those voices, right? Say, we are exactly where we need to be. A few more breaths here. Every inhale, you're showing up. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Every exhale, letting go. I'm surrendering to something bigger, to gravity, to my body. Nice big exhale on this side, and then take it over to the other side. So same space. You'll put the ball next to your left hip. You'll probably have to kind of reorient yourself on the mat a little bit so you got room. And then you'll roll over so the ball is pinned under the left hip. I didn't say much about the arm, right? But you're welcome to be laying the head on the arm or propped up on your hand, however's comfortable. And taking these really deep, full breaths. Keeping my eye on the time for you guys. Breathing full and deep. We're showing up and then we're letting go. Every time the past or the future or the possible or the maybe comes in, come back to the real. And it's right here, right? You can feel it in your body, in your hips. Last couple of breaths here. Big exhale. And then I invite you to just take the next 6 or 7 breath cycles to do whatever feels good, right? So you may want to do a little bit more on the back of the sacrum. You might want to go back to the beginning and see if those spaces are more open now that you've opened the sides of that part of the body. You might want to just lay on the back and do some leg circles, knee circles, hip circles. They're all involved. Some circles to the lower body, whatever you like here. A few more breaths, just doing what feels right. And then go ahead and hug your knees into your chest and make your way all the way up to sit and then all the way up into a child's pose. And feel yourself in child's pose. Feel the breath. Let there be breath now moving through that space of the sacrum, through the space of the hips. And then see if that breath can travel through the hips, through the torso, through the arms, shoulders, neck, skull, third eye. And here's how we're going to set an intention tonight, a 2-part intention. Take a big inhale, big exhale. And then I ask you here, continue to breathe. What are you showing up for tonight? What are you showing up for in this practice? Commit to that. We are devoted to that. That is what our practice is for. And then I ask you, vairagya, right? What are you letting go of tonight? Or whenever you watch this video. What are you letting go of? When you feel like you've got a sense for all of that, come onto your hands and knees, start to do some cats and cows. And maybe there's a way to remind yourself gently, without kind of cluttering the mind with the technique, right? What if there were a way to just gently, kindly remind yourself with each inhale what you're showing up for? And with each exhale, what you're releasing. A couple more of those. And then start to come into downward dog. So you could just slowly make your way there, hopefully with just as much awareness as you've had thus far. And then it might feel good to rock your hips a little bit side to side. Feel those spaces in the sacrum that we opened up. So the hips are gateways to the earthy energy that are often get really shut and closed. So a couple more breaths here, just seeing what it feels like to let more energy pour through that gateway of your hips. See what that does both for what's the sensations in the legs and the feet, and also for the sensation in sort of the torso and the upper body. Make your way forward into plank pose. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Then just lift up your left leg just a little bit. It doesn't have to come up very far. But feel almost like if you really engage your core, that the legs are sort of floating, both of them, right? Even the right leg has got a floating quality, the one that's on the ground. And then lower that left foot and lift up the right. Few breaths, you're probably starting to build some heat. Maybe you want to start to turn on ujjayi breath. There's our fire. There's our fire energy. Put the right foot down, downward dog. Feel the ground underneath you through your hands and your feet. And then start to walk forward, keeping an awareness in your feet. Once you come all the way into the front of your yoga mat, hang there for a little bit, maybe with a little softness in the knees. Again, where's the energy in the hips? How can that travel and move? And then see if energy can move now through the mid-back, upper back. You may want to rock the head as you start to put some movement in the upper spine. And then let there be breath in between every vertebrae. Breath, breath, breath. Every inhale, we are showing up for what matters. And every exhale, we are letting go of what doesn't matter, what's not serving. Last couple of breaths here. So if you want to start to straighten your legs and shift the weight to the fronts of the feet, it's going to be a little bit of a different energy. And more energy probably pouring into your legs, right? And less into the upper body. And then go ahead and round yourself all the way up to stand. And see if you can feel yourself aligned, like you are right in the spot where you need to be. The earth is supporting you from underneath. your North Star directly above. Put your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Close the eyelids for a moment and see if you can feel the elements, which is the framework through which all of my movement sequencing is taught. All of this is to help us rebalance and reharmonize the natural energies that already want to thrive inside of us. Press down into earth through your feet. Use the energy of your inner legs and use your bandhas, so the engagement of pelvic floor and belly, to lift that earthy energy up now, all along the way, letting it be transmuted until way at the top, very clear and buoyant energy. Remember your intention. What are you showing up for? What are you letting go? Find an exhale and let it go all the way out. Find an inhale and reach your arms out, big breath in. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and you could jump back or step back. Just doing nice simple sun salutes here. Exhale, chaturanga or a downward dog. Or a knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Then there's downward dog. Hips up and back. Stay here and breathe 5 breath cycles. Breathing deeply for 1. Stay just where you are, breathing for 2. And as the breath moves, little subtle shifts are happening in the energy body, little subtle shifts in the emotional body. Hear and feel the breath. Just stay with your own direct experience. And then on an exhale, jump or step the feet forward between your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine and open your heart. Exhale, fold down into your legs and let the head drop. Inhale, come all the way up. Push the feet into the floor. Lift the bandhas, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And then exhale, go ahead and let the hands come back down with the gaze. Return to the horizon. Again, reach up, fill yourself with breath. And exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then jump or step back. Lowering down on your out breath. And lifting up on your in breath. Lift the hips up and back. Downward dog on your out breath. Stay here and breathe for 1. So when we show up for what matters, right? It's like, what it feels like to me, it's like I'm plugging back in to my sources. And here we might be calling them earth, water, fire, air. You can define your sources however you like, but this practice time is where you get to realign with them, plug back in so they can nurture you and so that you can honor them, right? By restoring harmony inside yourself, you are honoring harmony, right? You're now an ambassador for harmony. On an out breath, you'll travel forward to the front of your mat. In breath, lift the chest. Out breath, fold down into your legs and hollow out your belly. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, look up. And exhale, standing tall and clear. We're going to come to a squat or any position that you like for a little bit of breath work now. Honoring the air element with a little bit of breath work. So however you want to be comfortable, I'm sitting up on a block in my squat, really however you like to be. We're going to do Kapalabhati breath, so take a big inhale and a big exhale. Then inhale to a comfortable level and start to do short, sharp exhales out of your nose, so you're pumping the breath. Keep that going at a rhythm that works for you. Mine might not be the right rhythm for you, so find yours. And then let the rhythm hold you, right? You show up for the rhythm and then surrender to the rhythm and it will do the breath work. Close your eyes, gaze at your third eye, slightly tuck the chin and lift the back of the neck. We've got just a little more to go. Then slow it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push all the breath out, out, out. Then take a big breath in. And then go ahead and put your hands on the ground and big breath out of your mouth like you're composting into the earth as you straighten the legs. And just let it all out. Now keep the feet that wide. Take a block now in front of you. And some people can do this without the block, no problems. Just try it without if you don't have one. Left hand on the block, left knee bends, and right arm up. And I intentionally want you kind of sticking that hip out, right? We're gonna keep kind of circling back to the space that we opened with the balls. But here I want you to breathe in and out of that space as you open the chest over to the right and kind of push your right hip out a little bit. Be gentle with yourself. Don't lock your right knee. Don't like jam it back, right? That's only really an issue if you're hyper flexible, but some of us are. One more big breath in here. And then let the exhale lower the right hand and let yourself just glide to the other side. So here's one of our kind of fluid moments, right? Finding those moments throughout the practice. So now your right hand is on the block or the floor, your right knee is bent, and your left arm is up. Breathe deeply here. Notice where you feel the energy. I feel it in really different places on this side. And letting that be just fine. And then go ahead and let that left arm lower. And then you'll move the block off to the side. And you'll come all the way up to stand. So for the next sequence, this is our little flow sequence from the week. So some of us have been building on this all week long, and we'll just build up onto it a little bit more today. For this flow sequence, some may want the blocks at the front of the mat at the highest level to begin. That would just be for supported warrior 3 if you want it. First, Utkatasana chair pose. Sit your hips back and down. Raise your arms alongside your ears. Good. Just take another couple breaths here and see if you can find that heat, that warmth in the body that starts to melt away toxins, that starts to strengthen us at the same time. Then take the hands to prayer. Feel your center there. Tip your heart forward and pick up your left leg. Warrior 3. Now here's where you might want the hands on the blocks. You're welcome to do that. Make sure there's some spaciousness in that right hip. Left leg is parallel to the ground and you're breathing deep breaths. Full and even breaths for 3, 4, and 5. Find your way up to a high lunge. So you'll bend the right knee, engage your core, and lower the left foot to the ground. Then raise the arms up, and for today's high lunge, we're interlacing the fingers and turning the palms to the ceiling. As you inhale, straighten your front leg, lift up through your chest, and then rebend the knee. Feel the space in your shoulders. Breathe in and out of that space. Again, straighten the front leg, and exhale, rebend the front knee. Straighten the front leg, and bend the front knee. Now this time, straighten the front leg, and open out for Trikonasana triangle pose. So the left heel spins down, right toes are pointing forward, and then the arms reach, reach, reach. Right hand comes forward and then connects to your right shin. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Alternative version with a block under your right hand. Stay here and breathe for 1. Breathe. 2. How wonderful that you've showed up for your practice. Breathe. 3. Now the elements are doing the work. Our sources are doing the work. 4. And 5. Can you rewind the steps? So go ahead and lift back up first, and then open the chest to the front again, squaring off the hips, picking up that back heel. Simply step forward, left foot next to right, and lower the arms. Utkatasana, bend the knees, sweep the arms alongside your ears. Stay here for a couple breaths and let a little bit of heat build. Notice that there's often resistance, right? We're about to do something challenging. There's resistance. Soften the resistance. Let the work happen. Hands to prayer, warrior 3. Tip the weight into your left foot as the right leg lifts back. The chest comes forward so that you create a parallel line to the ground with your body. Some of us like to use the blocks, and then we can get even more square and clear through the shape. Breathing deep, full breaths. 3, If you start to contract against the work, can you send the breath through the whole body again, like we did at the beginning of class 4? Exhale, 5. High lunge, so you'll bend the left knee, engage your core, and let the right foot land on the mat. Arms up, and then fingers interlaced, palms to ceiling. Gaze is straight ahead. Then straighten the front leg and lift your heart. And as you exhale, re-bend the knee. Continue. So you take a little ride up as you straighten the front leg, and then you take the ride down as you bend. And again, straighten. Breath in the shoulders, breath in the back of your neck, bend. Again, straighten, and this time spin the back heel down. Open up for Trikonasana. Reach forward through that left arm until the left hand connects to the shin. Right fingers reaching up to the sky. Breathe deep breaths for 1. Breathe. 2. Breathing for 3. Breathe. 4. Can you feel the breath in the space where we use the ball? Exhale, 5. Go ahead and let the right arm bring you back up, and then let everything become square again for high lunge, facing forward. Step the back foot forward to meet the front foot, and then just lower your arms, stand tall and clear. Inhale, Utkatasana, sit back deep and low, raise your arms. Hands to prayer warrior 3, left leg lifts, chest comes forward. High lunge, can you land with the fingers interlacing and palms up, straighten the front leg, finish that inhale. And then spin the back heel down, triangle, exhale. Beautiful, come back up to the high lunge. And here we'll add on a couple of shapes. You're gonna now twist over to your right, and I'll show it from this angle. Twisting over to your right, hooking the left arm outside of the right leg, palms together, looking over your right shoulder once you come to the full version. If you have different variations with your arms you'd like to take, you're welcome to. Breathe for 2. Breathe 3. How long can you get from your back heel to the crown of the head? 4. Pulling the belly back, especially at the bottoms of your exhale. Twisting. 5. Then you're going to look down, and you're actually going to shift the weight forward into your right foot, Ardha Chandrasana. Put weight onto your right hand and your right foot. Now the block can be really great here. Underneath the right hand. Up to you how you want to work with that, the top arm. You could bend the top knee and reach the hand for the foot. Breathe deep, full breaths here. Notice the breath in the space where we work with the balls as you breathe deeply. 3. As you feel your own experience. 4. Exhale. 5. Warrior 2. Release that left foot, land back on it, and then gaze over your right fingers as you arrive. 1. Breathe. 2. Let yourself be in the practice. You showed up, right? Just be here all the way. 4. And 5. Reverse warrior. Flip palms, tip back. And then take your hands to the ground this time. Meet me in downward dog. Any type of vinyasa is welcome. And of course, any type of restful pose is welcome if you want to be in child's pose or something like that. A couple of breaths. And then as you're ready, on an out breath, make your way back to the top of the mat. On an in breath, lengthen your spine, and then fold back down into your legs. Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend the knees, squeeze the knees together, and raise your arms up. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale, lower the arms down the seat to heat. Inhale, Utkatasana. Let's do the flow other side. Hands to prayer. Exhale, warrior three. Start to interlace your fingers as the left foot lands on the ground. Arms up. High lunge. Straighten that front leg. Oh, actually, I think we already did this side, didn't we? Come back to the top. Utkatasana. Inhale. Big breath in. Raise the arms up. Hands to prayer, warrior three. Exhale, the right leg reaches up and back. And then high lunge, fingers interlaced, palms to the sky. Straighten the front leg. Spin the back heel down, and then come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Come all the way back up. The right arm lifts up, and your chest faces forward, back heel up. And then here we're going to start to come forward into the twist. Right arm comes outside of the left leg this time. Breathe deep breaths here. For one. Keep kind of pressing down through your feet, engaging through your belly, pressing back through the back heel, forward through the crown. Here and feel your breath. 4. Feel the twist deepen, especially at the bottom of this last exhale. Soften the back of your heart. 5. Look down and forward. Ardha Chandrasana. Shift the weight into your left hand and into your left foot. Maybe you've got a block there for support. Take your time as you rise up through the right arm and the right leg. Maybe you end up bending that knee and reaching hand for a foot. Feel your breath, hear your breath. 3, 4, and 5. And then release the foot. The right foot finds the earth again for Virabhadrasana 2. Press down through the feet, reach through the arms. Soft gaze over your left fingers, breathing deeply. For 2, 3, 3. Be here all the way, every bit of you, in your practice. Exhale, 5. Reverse warrior, flip palms, tip back. There's no rush. We've got nowhere else to be but in our practice. Hands come down, stepping back, making your way through a vinyasa of your choice, staying with your breath. And moving in downward dog. Now this time, go ahead and inhale your way forward to a plank pose. And then come all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, I'd like for you to take your arms wide off of your mat with the fingers tented. So I'm facing forward, but you get the idea that my elbows are right over my wrists. Press down through your feet, press down through your finger pads, and lift up through your chest. As you exhale, dip your left shoulder down and look over your right shoulder. So it's a little twist in your upper back. Inhale, come back up to gecko. Shoulders square again, then dip your right shoulder, look over your left. Lift up, inhale, wide collarbones. Other side, exhale, dip to the left, look over right. Inhale, come on up, wide across the collarbones. Exhale, dip the right, look over the left. Inhale, coming up. Let's do one more set. Left dips, look over right. Inhale, come on up. And right dips as you look over the left. Inhale, come on back up. And then go ahead and lay the forehead down onto the mat. Take your arms alongside your body now. And let the tops of the hands just rest. Let the elbows kind of flop out and just let yourself rest here for a moment. Take a big inhale into the whole body like we did at the beginning of class. And then exhale, let everything go. Surrender, surrender, vairagya, let go. Now press into your tops of your hands and the tops of your feet. And just lift up your shoulders. And just your shoulders, so even the head still stays down. And you'll start to feel waking up the rhomboids, the space behind your heart, a space that we'd love to get nice and strong. Keep pressing through your hands and your feet. Now lift up your head And again, keep working the shoulders. So you should feel some work in your upper back. And then if you would like to also lift up the legs, you can. 3 more breaths. Now there is one more place we could go here. You could bend the knees and reach your hands for your feet and turn this into Dhanurasana bow for 1. Breathe, 2. And 3. Everybody come on down from wherever you are. Make a comfortable little place to rest your head and then wiggle your hips a little bit side to side. Again, take a big breath in. And then exhale everything out inside and become still and surrender down to Mama Earth. Then feel yourself fill up with Father Sky again as you inhale. Take your hands alongside your mid-ribs. Put the forehead on the ground one last time here. Pull the elbows in. So again, you feel the shoulders lift and you feel the rhomboids on the back. Then just lift up your head, not even very high. And feel yourself in a really clean version of Cobra. Press down through the hands, lift up a little bit more through the chest if you'd like. Pull the elbows together, and then make your way up and back into child's pose again. Feel yourself here. Feel the breath now moving into spaces that maybe it couldn't at the beginning of our time together. Feel your connection to the planet underneath you, to the sky above and around you. Feel the warmth of the fire within you. And feel the energy of water, which you're made of, mostly water, vibrating inside. Make your way into downward dog. We're going to do our flow sequence one more time. And just as a flow, right? Just so that we can feel ourselves in that water energy, moving with the rhythms of nature, the rhythm of our breath. On an out breath, you'll step or hop your feet forward between your hands or take a walk, whatever you want to do. You'll fold into the legs, breathe out, and then we'll play with these familiar transitions. Utkatasana chair, inhale, sit hips back, reach arms up. Come all the way up to stand, lower the arms as you straighten the legs, gaze on the horizon. Inhale, Utkatasana chair. Hands to prayer, pick up the left leg, warrior 3, exhale. High lunge with the fingers interlaced. Inhale, keep that front leg straight, knee lifting the chest. Then triangle, spin the back heel down and come forward, right arm reaches. Inhale, come up to the high lunge, chest faces forward, right knee bends. Then into the twist, left arm outside of the right leg as you breathe out. Ardha Chandrasana, look forward and down, stay kind of low to the ground, then put your right hand on your block or the floor, left leg and arm lift. Warrior 2, engage your core so much that you land really lightly without a sound. Gaze over right fingers and flip palms. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, take your hands to the ground. You could move through a vinyasa or skip it. Feel your breath as we all meet in downward facing dog. Reconnect to the source underneath you, the planet, the groundedness. Breathe deeply and feel the sources moving all around and all through you. You'll make your way to the top of the mat, so you could do this sequence one more time on the other side. Folding into the legs as you breathe out, hollow out your belly, then breathe in Utkatasana. Find the rhythm of your breath. Exhale, stand all the way up. Let's stay just standing in Samasthiti for another breath cycle. This is the rhythm of our flow. Catch the beginning of an inhale, Utkatasana, and don't be in any rush. Hands to prayer, pick up right leg, warrior 3. Exhale, straighten the legs. Interlace your fingers, land the right foot. Inhale, high lunge, then straighten that front leg. And exhale, spin the back heel down, come forward, triangle. Inhale, coming all the way back up, high lunge, face forward. And exhale, twist to the left, right arm outside of the leg. Ardha Chandrasana, look forward, shift weight into left hand, Left foot, right arm and leg up. Warrior 3. Land back as lightly as you can with the right foot, gaze over your left fingers. Reverse warrior, flip your palms and tip back. And then go ahead and take the hands to the ground and meet me in downward dog. Hear your breath and feel your breath. And then start to make your way to a seated position. We're going to take ankle to knee pose now. And I'll show you the reclined version in a moment. If you want to take the seated version, right shin on top of your left. And you'll see, if you look at me, they're really, really stacked. I'm not cross-legged, right? And I'm not all the way over, right? It's really neat so that one foot's on top of the opposite knee and vice versa. If that doesn't work for you, if you've got a lot of space there, obviously you can put something under there, or you can always just come onto your back. So keep the right shin how it is. Hug the left thigh in. The right arm can go through. And there you are. If you're in the seated version and you want to fold forward, go for it. Just really keep the chest sort of open on the descent if you can, and that should help you keep grounded through the back of the sacrum, the back of the sits bones. You're welcome to use any sort of prop you like underneath the head. And then we're going to arrive here for about 1 minute. So slow down your breath and let yourself be here. You showed up, now surrender. There is a force for harmony that is working through you, through this pose, through your breath. Let go of the personal effort and let this deeper, more universal effort work. Last couple of breaths here. And then at the end of our minute, we're going to add on just a little bit. We're going to add on a hum, okay? So now big inhale, and then hum, a deep, low hum. Then take a big inhale, stay right where you are. One last exhale to surrender. Switch sides very simply, so if you're on your back, you can just stay there if you'd like. If you're seated, again, just be really mindful that you're stacking. Each side is going to have its own little story to it. Make any little adjustments that you need. Use the props that this side needs. If you're on your back, your left shin is across the right thigh and you're hugging the right thigh in. If you're seated and ready to fold forward, go for it. Keep anchored through the back of the sacrum, the very first space that we attended to really in this class. And then once you do arrive sort of at the depth of it, you can let go of the open chest, of that kind of brightness that we move into forward folding with. You're welcome to let that be a little looser once you've gotten into the pose. And then feel your breath. Hear your breath. Your breath is a force of harmony, of healing. You don't have to look outside of yourself for that salvation. It's been in you all along. Couple more breaths just like this. And then we'll do this big, deep hum. So you need a big inhale for that to prepare. And then big breath down into the hips. Big, deep, low, resonant sound. Let it go all the way out. And then let a big inhale fill you. And let that go all the way out. And then go ahead and everyone make your way onto the back. And have a block handy. You're going to lift up your hips once you're on your back and place the block under the sacrum. And we started off again with a lot of awareness in this part of the body. Can you let this part of the body now just drop down really heavy? Can you trust that? Where your feet and knees are is kind of particular, right? Find them in just the right position where their position helps you feel really sturdy and really comfortable. Hands can be on the hip points or just alongside. And I just want you to take a few breaths here. And I want you to just contemplate a little bit this relationship you have with the planet. And however heavy or challenging things can be for you, you can always connect back. However heavy things are for you, the earth can hold it, right? She holds mountains and oceans. Now from here, I would love for us to do a little bit of a little more shoulder opening here. So, but for those of you for whom this is working really well and you just want to stay here, you can. Some of us are going to move more into an active bridge. So really push into your feet, kind of use the strength of the legs in your core so that you can lift your hips up as if they're very light. Then you can either interlace the fingers behind your back, right? And kind of press down through the arms and straighten the arms. So you get a little opening through your chest and you're pouring energy from the legs down. Or some people like to grab the opposite sides of the mat, and that also helps get the thrust of the hips without straining your low back, and a chest opener. 3 more breaths. Feel this wherever you feel it. And then go ahead and come down and take a rest. Take your feet as wide as the mat, let your knees come together. Take one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, and then some people really like to rock the knees side to side and let the legs flop. You could do that, or you could stay in stillness. Now I am going to give everybody the opportunity to do one wheel pose today. If that's something you'd like to do, you can start to set up for full wheel pose. Otherwise, maybe you spend a little more time with the block under the sacrum, or maybe you do one more bridge. Finding your way into the pose of your choice. For 1, breathe. 2, 3, breathe. Feel all that energy moving through the middle of the body because of all that opening we did. Last breath. Now letting it all pour in through the upper chakras. 5, coming all the way down. And now if you'd like to hug the knees into the chest as a release, as a counter pose, you can. If you want to do a little twist on your back, you can. We're heading into inversions next, and basically just closing postures of your choice. And so choose an inversion here to do for a couple minutes. I'm going to demonstrate shoulder stand today, but you could do headstand, forearm stand, handstand, right? Anything is on the table here. You could also, of course, do Viparita Karani, just putting your legs straight up in the air. I'm going to demonstrate full shoulder stand. For some people, they really like a blanket underneath their back. And we'll just demonstrate that today. If anybody ever wants me to demonstrate something more fully or do a tutorial, all you have to do is ask, and I'll put one together for you. So everyone coming into an inversion of your choice. I'll be coming into my shoulder stand pose. And I'm making our way in, and I'm going to time us for 1 minute in the pose. And then we'll have a little time at the end for counter poses. Okay. Feel your body in space. This is so important. Feel the rhythm of your breath, which is the timing of your body. This is the natural rhythm of a human. Every single shape we've taken today, every single exercise has been toward harmonizing your inner world, bringing yourself back into your true nature. You can feel really good about showing up today for your practice and letting go of everything else. Now you can start to come into your counter poses. I'm coming into halasana, which is a counter pose for shoulder stand, but maybe you're coming into child's pose if you've been in a more active headstand or handstand, forearm stand. And then you're welcome to take fish if that's part of your practice at the end of your shoulder stand. And then finally, everyone coming onto the back and into shavasana. So once you come into shavasana, I want you to get as comfortable as you possibly can. Depending on what's going on in your environment, you may want to get a little cozier or warmer. You may want to turn off a light that's in your eyes or shut a window that's bringing in noise. Make yourself, you're in charge of your sacred space now. This the way that the teacher is in charge of the yoga studio, right? So make yourself really comfortable so that you can, when you show up to shavasana, vairagya, let go. And then feel the energy moving through your body. All these sacred elements intertwining to make up you and your experience. These elements want to be in harmony. Let the personal will go and let nature do its work on you and through you. Whatever you are letting go of today, feel in the body for any remnants of it still. And then envision that substance releasing out of your body and down to the earth. She is vast and miraculous, and she can compost this heavy energy. And whatever it is that you showed up for today, feel it holding you, feel it showing up for you. And as you lie here and your trust in your sources deepens, and your freedom from your fears and your obstacles grows. Feel yourself returning home to what you really are. Now we end our Sunday evening class with a little chanting, and you are welcome to just stay on your back and rest. Or you are welcome to start to very slowly make your way up to sit. I invite you to chant on your end, though we haven't quite figured out how to make a sound line up right on Zoom, so I will ask you to keep your audio off, but you're welcome to chant back and I'll feel you. And I'll just type the lyrics in here, really simple chant this week. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.